I am stinking terrified of spiders. Hello to you, my friends. I'm Kaylyn and welcome to the BUgirl channel. Last season we talked about some things like self-doubt and comparison and friendship. Today I want to talk about a pretty big topic, and it's something that has caused me a lot of frustration, and that's fear. Now, there are some fears that I like to call surface fears. These are the things that I'm afraid of in the moment, but don't really have a lasting effect on me. For example, I am stinking terrified of spiders. I remember this one time that my husband and I were just sitting chatting, and this spider ninja'd down from the ceiling right in front of us, and I had a mental breakdown. I cried and I threw the blanket over my head, and I didn't want to deal with it, and so he had to deal with it. Another one of my surface fears is actually the dark. Am I alone in this? Am I the only one who's afraid of the dark still? Like, you know when you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and everything's fine, everything's hunky-dory, and you do your business and you turn the light back off, and then instantly, as soon as you start to like walk or run, in my case, back to your room, the only thought in your head is, oh, there's 1,000 robbers in my house right now and they're gonna jump me because it's dark. Anyways, those are what my surface fears are. Then there are what I call the deep-rooted fears. These are the fears that feel like they consume you and make you feel like you can't even move. They make you withdraw and keep you from doing things. For me, my deep-rooted fears are worrying what other people think of me and being terrified that I'm not good enough. When I think back to when I was in high school, I think about how many things I missed out on because I was so afraid. Those deep fears took root inside of me, and they convinced me that I shouldn't try out for the lead in the play because I wouldn't get it anyway, and people would think it was ridiculous that I even tried. Those fears told me that I shouldn't be myself because I wouldn't be accepted. And they told me that I shouldn't reach for the stars because there was no way that I could ever reach them. As I look back now, I can see just how much my fear held me back. I wish that I had done more, and I wish that I had gotten more involved. But I was essentially a prisoner to my fear. I think it's safe to say that we all have surface fears, and we all have deep-rooted fears. It's totally normal. But what do we do with those fears? And how do we not live in those fears? Psalm 56, 3-4 says, "When I'm afraid, I put my trust in you. In God whose word I praise. In God I trust and am not afraid. What can mere mortals do to me?" That first line says, "When I'm afraid, I put my trust in you." This seems like a really easy and straightforward thing to do, right? But letting go of that fear is really hard sometimes. Even though we don't like to be afraid, we seem to hold on to that fear so tightly. Putting your trust in God requires complete surrender. It means that you come to God and say, I know I can't do this on my own. If it was only up to me, I would be stuck in this place forever. But I'm placing my trust in you, giving you all of my fears, and know that you are gonna fight for me. Here's what I've learned, and am still learning. When we put our trust in God and surrender our fears to Him, He leads us to such victory. We need to recognize that God is always with us. We don't need to be a prisoner of our fears. We can instead put our trust in God and know that we're taken care of. That's it for this week, friends. Let me know what you thought of today's topic, and let me know if there are ways that you have found that help you get past your fears. As always, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, leave a comment. I don't know, do all those things.